Good afternoon. It's 2:15, and I'd like to call the meeting to order, and we'll begin with the roll call of committee members. Commissioner Fair. Commissioner Ponce. Commissioner Rubin. And I'm here, and we have quorum. I'd like to request a motion to approve the minutes from our December 7th, 2023 meeting. Do we have a motion? Commissioner Fair has made a motion. Do we have a second? Seconded by Commissioner Rubin. I'd like to do the roll call. Commissioner Ponce. Yes. I'm a yes as well, and the motion carries unanimously. We have one project on the agenda for today's meeting. Staff to the commission will present the project on the agenda and state their recommendation. Following the staff presentation, the committee will have the opportunity to ask questions of the staff. The applicant may then make a statement. Following the applicant's statements, members of the public may make their statements. I'd like to ask anyone other than the applicant wishing to make a statement on the item on today's agenda to complete a public comment card and give the card to a member of the staff. Comment cards that are available at the door. As a courtesy to other individuals wishing to offer comments, we ask that members of the general public please limit your statements to 3 minutes or less. When the time comes for public comment on the item on the agenda, we'll call the names on the cards and ask for you to make your statement. Please state your name, interest, organization, and company you represent, if any. And our first project is 441 West Belden, the 43rd Ward, Alderman Knudsen in the Mid-North District, and is the proposed alterations to the previously approved additions to a 3-story masonry single-family home on a double-wide lot. And Tyler Taylor has the presentation.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon. The subject property at 441 West Belden is a 3-story masonry building located mid-block at the eastern boundary of the Mid-North District. The building has 2 full stories above grade and a basement partially below grade. It was initially constructed in or sometime prior to 1886, when it first appears on a Sanborn fire insurance map. The building occupies a double-wide lot and has since its construction. The building has been added to and modified several times over the years. In 2004, the Permit Review Committee approved a rear and side addition, along with a metal-clad bay window projecting into the side yard, shown here shaded in blue. The rear addition was permitted on the basis that there is a precedent in the district for rear coach houses that are located in the side yard or wider than the principal building, although located at the back of the lot. In 2017, a permit was issued for a scope of work that included the removal of the roof over the addition's second-floor balcony and the exterior metal stair shown with a red hatch. While these were removed, the rest of that scope of work was never completed. Most recently, in February 2022, the Permit Review Committee approved a proposal that would further modify the building, including the bay window and the side addition shown here. This proposal would have changed the bay into a semicircular one that extended further into the side yard, removed and completely reconstructed the east wall of the main building, and converted the solid masonry bump out at the front of the side addition to a glass sunroom. It also involved the removal of the brick cladding on the side addition, replacing it with a different brick. Window replacement and restoration work was proposed for the front facade of the main building. This scope was ultimately never carried out, and a new design team has modified the scope again, which is the subject of the proposal before you today. In this revised proposal, the original east wall of the main building will not be reconstructed, and the design of the bay has been changed, so it is rectangular in plan with rounded corners. It projects into the side yard slightly less than the existing bay with angled walls, and significantly less than the round bay approved in 2022. A small well for an exterior stair providing access from the basement level to grade at the side yard is proposed to be located behind the bay. The interior of the building will be reconfigured with changes that affect the exterior primarily on the east wall of the main building and the front and rear of the 2004 addition. At the east side elevation facing the side yard, a section of the wall is proposed to be demolished at the basement and second floor levels to accommodate the new window bay. The other windows will also be altered, requiring demolition of portions of the wall highlighted in red and infill of other portions highlighted in gray. In addition to the 3-story bay, a total of 11 new or altered windows are proposed. Of these, 7 are double hung. two smaller windows overlooking the roof of the side addition and one larger one on the second floor overlooking the yard are picture windows. The window above that one on the second floor has the same opening dimension as the picture window below, but is divided into operable portions. The outer withe of brick is proposed to be removed from a section of the wall, extending from the bay back to the side addition and replaced with brick matching the existing masonry at the section of wall above the bay. And I'll explain that a little more later. The proposed bay is composed of glass and black aluminum that appears similar to steel, with substantial mullions and spandrels. A thin horizontal mullion wraps around the bay at each level above the spandrel. The design of the bay is simple and contemporary and references other metal-clad bays on contributing buildings in the district. While it is taller than both the existing and previously approved bays, it does not extend as far beyond the front portion of the building and would only be fully visible from Belden at the northeast corner of the lot. Staff recommends it is compatible with both the historic portion and new additions to the building. At the side elevation, the changes in this proposal are very similar to the previous one, or side addition, sorry. The masonry bump out is proposed to be demolished and replaced with a small sunroom with 3 sets of glass double doors making up the glazing. Above it on the second floor, the balcony will be eliminated and become a non-occupiable green roof. The existing 3 sets of double doors that served the balcony will be replaced with new aluminum framed windows, but the dimensions of the openings will remain the same. The existing decorative cornice and chimney are proposed to be removed and replaced with a simpler parapet. The outer withe of brick from the entire side addition and the metal cladding above it on the main building is proposed to be removed and replaced with a different, more consistent Chicago common brick. As previously mentioned, the alterations proposed to the exterior cladding at these highlighted elevations. The entire side and rear addition in yellow are proposed to be reclad with the new Chicago common brick pictured at top left. Staff finds this selection of brick is compatible with the historic portion of the building and the district. The section of the east wall in red is proposed to have the outer withe removed and replaced with brick matching the masonry at the area above the bay to create a single consistent brick surface along the east wall, containing the altered windows and bay. This wall was previously approved to be removed in its entirety, so this recladding will not have an adverse effect on the historic portion of the building. The existing metal cladding at the joint between the side addition and main building will be replaced with a new metal cladding. Finally, the existing brick on the rest of the east elevation will have spot repairs and tuck pointing performed. At the front elevation, a non-historic door to the lower level is proposed to be removed and replaced with a new cladwood single-hung window, matching the dimensions and operation of the intact window next to it. The area below will be infilled with new rusticated limestone to match the surrounding masonry. The windows are proposed to be replaced in the existing openings with cladwood double-hung windows and trim matching the profile of the existing windows and trim as closely as possible. The curved wood doors, while unique, have been determined to be not original and are proposed to be replaced with a new set of 3-panel doors. No changes are proposed to the transom and surrounding trim other than fresh paint. The cornice will be repainted and the brick facade and limestone steps will be gently cleaned. Staff recommends that the work to the front facade will maintain or restore significant architectural features. Finally, at the alley, the reconfiguration of the interior includes relocating the garage and overhead door from the side addition to the rear addition of the main building. This elevation is also to be reclad with new common brick as previously shown, and changes to the windows and opening are proposed. This work affects elevations at the rear of the building that are all part of the 2004 addition, and staff recommends it is compatible with the rest of the building and the surrounding district. And finally, a few renderings of the project. Staff recommends approval of the proposal with the following conditions. First, in large dimension section details of the bay window shall be provided with the permit drawings that include horizontal mullion, the horizontal mullion between the lower and upper window panes. Where tech pointing is proposed, all new mortar shall match the historic mortar in color, joint profile, texture, strength, and type. Samples of the proposed new brick materials, metal cladding at the joint between the main building, the new door and side addition shall be included with the permit drawings, and specifications for the infill materials for the front facade shall be provided with the permit drawings. Physical samples shall be presented for review and approval by historic preservation staff prior to order and installation. The Mid-North Association has reviewed the proposal and is in support. Alderman Knudsen has reviewed the proposal and has no comments or objections. The architect, Carlo Parenti, is present and able to answer your questions.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Tyler. Any questions for Tyler before we hear from the architect? None. Hear from the architect. Carlo Parenti.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to talk here today. I don't have much more to add from what Tyler said. We've maintained the previously approved facade, and we're really bringing the east facade back closer to what was already there. We're trying to be as thoughtful as we can, and we've worked over the last few months with Landmarks and addressed concerns they've had, and it's been a good collaborative approach. So I'm open to any questions that you have.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions?
Thank you. You know, for starters, I mean, I think it's a kind of really handsome design. So yeah, kudos on that. Question about kind of the bay window kind of addition, and I may have overlooked it in the drawings, but just was curious a little bit about the roof of that, particular portion, knowing it doesn't, align with the main building. But just was curious about how that's, shedding water. Is it going to be scuppers, kind of up at the top, or is there, roof drains that are going to be integrated at the interior, exterior? Just curious how that's working and how that may impact the, look from the exterior.
Quite honestly, that it needs to be detailed a little further, but the preference is to internally drain it and bring it out so that there's no exposure on the exterior.
That's great. No, I think keeping that as, kind of clean as possible would be the goal. So.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Any other questions? I will just jump on the compliment train. I really appreciate and can see the sensitivity of how this was approached. And I think it's really well done. And also the visualization is very nice as well.
Thank you.
So congratulations. Great work. I guess public comment period. Are we? There being none, no comment cards, and I don't believe there's anyone here to speak. Any final comments, discussion points, commissioners? Seeing none, I'd like to request a motion to adopt the staff recommendation. We have a motion. Commissioner Ponce has made a motion. We have a second. Commissioner Fair, and we'll do the roll call. Commissioner Rubin? Yes, and I am a yes, and the motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Nice project. There being no further business, I'd like to request a motion to adjourn. So moved. Commissioner Rubin, all those in favor? Motion carries unanimously, and our meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.